Hello everybody and welcome back to the West Coast. So, it is very bleak today. Actually, this episode is going to cover 2 days in winter because there is very little to do. In fact, the only thing we can do is to buy some more sheep. Now off screen just before this video, I actually just fed the sheep, also watered them and cleared out their food area because they seem to require it, despite not there being much food on the ground. But oh well, doesn't matter, it is done now. That was last night in game. We've now moved to the next day, which is blasting through at times 30. Really, because I don't want to be in this map in the winter time. It's nice enough, but there's just so little to do. The same with any map actually. So what we're going to do here is hopefully totally fill the trailer. This is going to leave us with, let me just see. Yes, below recommended amount of money. I have said 150,000 is really where we should go to. We shouldn't go below it because it's not advisable. But it would seem a bit pointless taking half a trailer. So we're going to have to make up that money very soon before we can buy anything else. So off we go. Over to the sheep farm. It's -1 degrees, -3 on the ground, so yep, any kind of field work is written off, but that was expected. Expected? I'm creating new words again. Well, I probably should just say this now actually, just thinking about it, with all this bad weather about and everything, all this snow. In real life, anybody who lives in Ireland in particular, or the UK, hopefully you're all still safe after yesterday's storm. Some places weren't affected really at all, and you're probably thinking, what are you on about, what storm? But I believe that Ireland was pretty badly hit, and also Scotland. So if you were in any of these areas, Northern England, Wales, anywhere which got this storm, this windstorm, ex-hurricane, yeah, hopefully you are safe and well. If you are, please comment down below. If you're not, then you're probably not even watching this video. So yeah, I feel for those people if there is anybody affected. Now, I've spent the day in real life winterizing my tractor, the 1525, and you're probably thinking again, what do you mean you're winterizing it? It's a tractor, it works all year round. Well, actually its job is to move things like compost, and also it cuts fields of grass. I don't think there's any more fields of grass to cut. So, did I just drive straight past the gate, or do we have to reverse through the field? Let me just see. Yeah, I think we actually do reverse into here, although it's going to be pretty tight. There isn't much space here. So, I reckon we could try and get through here instead. Of course, my 1520 tractor, that is still a year-round thing. I use it all year round for all sorts of stuff. When it comes to April, May, oh no, March time, I'd have thought, March time, I do a lot of rotivating with it. But the problem is, you can't really rotivate if it's still wet, because as soon as it becomes dry, it means that what you've rotivated, all the clumps, will go really hard, especially if it's a clay soil. So it would actually make rotivating it worse than if you had left it in the first place. So it does. Oh my goodness, very slippery. It does have to be fairly dry when it comes to doing that, just like any cultivation. But I was kind of desperate this year. I did put a rotivating video on, and it was really wet. But that's because we'd overrun, and it did need to be rotivated. This isn't very good driving, is it? This really does need to be improved on. I'm hoping if we just drive through, it is going to allow us to unload here somewhere. Easier than trying to reverse in. There we go. Confirm that. Perfect. Right. Yeah, that would have been quite tricky to reverse into there. We'll shut the gates. We should have 20 sheep unless they have been reproducing. I don't think they have. No, they haven't. 20. Wow. I've only just given them water last night and it's already down to 2/3. So we'll shut that gate and we'll shut this gate over here. I do need to keep a very close eye on the water because I really don't want them to run out. That would be catastrophic. We would lose them, or we'd lose a certain percentage, which we really don't want to see. Anyway, 2:30, and there really is nothing else for us to do, so I'm going to go and have a nap, because there is absolutely no point in sitting around twiddling our thumbs getting cold. Also, doing it this way means that we can get back to the springtime as soon as possible, which I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to. Just wondering, we should probably put this over to the side so we can get the other trailer out, because I think in the next day, which is obviously in a few minutes in the episode, we're going to take that over to the other farm and sort that out as well. Oh, look at that. Right, weather forecast. We've got rain for the next day, then snow, and then spring. So really, there is absolutely nothing in particular that needs to be done. So with it being 3 o'clock, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go to bed. So I'll see you in the morning. That is a very early night. Good morning, everybody. It is a very dark morning, obviously. Pretty much sums up the winter time. There we go. And the reason why I'm going to transport these now is because it's actually going to rain. So we don't want to be transporting anything in the wet, especially with these bales and seed and stuff. Yeah, last thing we want is for the seed bags to start to germinate. That would just be... well, they would have had it, really. We couldn't use them if they start to grow. Oh, wow. Extreme slippiness with the trailer. We really are going to have to drive very carefully. Wow. In case you're wondering what the thumbnail was about, basically that was in this video, but I had to retake the video because I made a mistake. So I thought it was a nice thumbnail to have, eye-catching and stuff, and it does summarise this episode, the treacherous roads. So yeah, instead of just retaking a boring one, I thought I'd keep it. It looks pretty good. But in the thumbnail, I was... well, this tractor was up against a wall, or should I say on the wall. That genuinely happened. I did crash this tractor into the wall, and the main reason why was the snow. These main roads are perfect, but the other ones are treacherous, as you're about to see. We're going to have to take the same route back though, because there is no other way. We could go through Riverton-on-Sea, but then if we go that way, we still have to go up the other road anyway, another back road, which is just as icy. So we might as well just go this way and see if we can actually make it. I suppose there is a possibility, it'd be too slippery for this tractor to pull the trailer up the hill, because it is pretty steep, but it's worth a go. Shame it's so dark. I think we can probably persuade it to get lighter a bit faster. Anyway, what do you all think to Gold Rush, the game? I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Hopefully we're going to get some more episodes of that very soon. The issue is I always try and research things before I make a video, because obviously if you start messing about in the video wondering how to do stuff, it just makes people switch off the video. So it has happened a few times in the series just because I'm still very new to the game, but I've tried to edit out as much as I can do when it's just me going, what did we do? Yeah, because that's just really dull. So I'm hoping so far you've enjoyed the gameplay, even if I have and ahed a bit, but just part of it really, when you're trying to work out how a game works, a brand new game. But I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do. We still have tier 3 to do, whatever that is. I'm not even sure what we're doing. I'm assuming it is some really big equipment, so the biggest excavator, wheel loaders, dumpers, maybe dumpers, I'm not too sure, but all that kind of stuff. And I did read that in my comments for the previous episode of Gold Rush, somebody said that... oh, look at that, you can't do it. Somebody said that we'd actually have to use the gold pan to get the gold out. You can use the... I can't remember its name now, but it's like a table thing which washes it through. So the tractor cannot pull the trailer up the slippery slope. And this is actually very realistic, because I know that in real life, when a tractor is trying to pull a car up a slippery slope in the ice, it's just as difficult. So, oh dear, I don't know what we're going to do. We have to wait for the great thaw. which is going to be coming in a few months' time. In game time, that is. Well, we better not just keep spinning the wheels before we burn the clutch out. I suppose what we could do is have another big run up, but getting momentum is going to be very difficult. We could always clear the snow with the bucket, I suppose. That could work. In fact, it is working quite well. But when the bucket is full, we have to empty it, and if it's still on the hill, we're going to lose whatever momentum we have, which is very little. Come on! Come on! I need to claw my way up this hill. Oh no! I have just created a drift. Come on. Come on, New Holland, I should have brought the John Deere. This is when we need to have the John Deere because it's just going to have much more weight and power behind it. I'm not saying it just goes to New Holland because you can have much bigger New Hollands, obviously. It's just this one is relatively small. So I can only assume that the only thing we can do is to roll back, drop off the trailer and return with a bigger tractor. That is scary stuff. Hopefully we've got a chock behind that wheel. Or every wheel. Yeah, that'll do. Off we go. I was actually expecting it to get up here without an issue, even though it should have got stuck, and it did. So there's me doubting the game, or doubting Seasons. I mustn't do that because Seasons is very good. Here we come, on the slippery country lanes. We actually seem to be fairly okay without a trailer on the back. It was pushing us about, I think. It really was not helping. But the John Deere is here somewhere, wherever I've put it. Put that there, forager, there it is. I suppose it's not a bad idea keeping the silage pusher on the front because it may be useful. We will shut the door though because it is perishing. Okay, might as well fold it up. Just as slippery though, it's just we should have the weight and the power. The New Holland had the power, but it didn't have the traction, which is always a big problem. Really, if you think about it, it's about to rain, so the temperature is above 0, and it is, 1 degree. If it rains on the ice, it should, in theory, start to melt it, although, just to begin with, it could make it even slippier. It could make it even more treacherous. So, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we want to get back to the yard as fast as possible. Mainly because this episode is turning into an episode of slipping about and fail. Right. But it's always good to have an episode of fail once in a while. It's going to be full on work very soon because we've got to get every field which we've purchased drilled. And that is a lot of fields. This year we have a fair amount. We have got field number 10 which is done, thankfully. 14, 15, 16, 5, 4, 3 and 81 and 30 are grass. So there's a lot. It's going to be very tough. Okay. We have made it. The bales are still on the back and it isn't raining yet, so that's very good. So essentially what we're going to be doing here is taking the seed bags off, dropping them off, taking the fertiliser spread off as well, and then taking the trailer with the bales back over to the other yard. I prefer to keep them on the trailer instead of taking them off because if we ever need to move them, then it's just easier. So it means they have to come with all the way over here, but you never know, they wanted to have a day trip or something, it might have been fun for them. Yeah, but they are only bales, so it's unlikely. Still, we're done. Let's put this in an open area. It doesn't want to be too close to the shed because we need to get the tractor with the front loader in, which is just there as you know. Oh, I think I might have left, that is a pain. I think I might have left the forks over at the other farm. That's annoying. But, let's just put this in here. There we go. We'll lower it down. Turn the beacons off and let's go on a bale spike hunt. Here are the pallet forks. I think this is probably going to be better anyway because we can still move the bales with them. And the bale spike definitely won't be able to pick up the fertiliser spreader. So this is just the best approach to take. Now this may try and push the fertiliser spreader quite a bit. It is easier to load it on than it is to remove it. But obviously we're going to have to attempt this as much as possible. As mentioned in the previous episode, we really should be able to put the fertiliser spreader on a pallet, as that is how you do it in real life, or in fact a fabricated frame. But this game doesn't allow you to do that, so there we go. It's good. I'm going to put it over here. Oh, ow, just crashed into the bucket. But there we go. Need to get a tractor onto there to move it. Finally, we've got these seeds, these seed bags. Let me just put the time down a bit. Yeah, these ones can all come here. They don't need to be taken anywhere else because this is the main yard for any kind of arable stuff. You know what? I'll pull it forwards a bit further first. Otherwise, it's going to be very tricky to unload it. Look at the forecast now. It's now going from rain to snow. And it should be the final snow of this winter. It should be far enough in. Right, so it's only 4 bags, so nothing much. Should be very fast to unload. I'm going to put them in the same shed as the fertiliser, just to keep it simple. And it's very hard actually to judge where that is. That bale spike. Okay, so just jump cut that one because it tips over. But you know what? I think if we were to put them in here, it doesn't really matter that it's in front of the fertiliser because the seed is going to be used first. We're not going to fertilise first. So this seems to be an ideal place for them. They're dry. They're accessible for the seeder. So everything will be good. Well, the bales are getting wet, but we can sort that out very soon. I think we're going to have to just put it all into the big barn just for the time being because this rain is going to really not do those bales any good at all. Hopefully I can reach these bags. Okay, number 3, and then finally one more. Nice and dry. Again, it's always nice when there's a snow mask on each map. Not every map has got a snow mask, which basically means it's not totally compatible with seasons, because your snow would end up inside the sheds, which may not bother you, but it would bother me quite a bit. And there we go. That is the seed done. So you're probably getting the idea now of what I meant about there not being much to do in winter. We've done a bit of forestry. Well, that was a spooky episode, that was. We ended up being lost in a transit van in a forest with a chainsaw. Some people did mention that it was, yeah, quite a weird situation to be in. But it really was just me in the forest with a transit van. That's as simple as that. Okay, gonna have to go in here because we don't want them getting any wetter. There we go. Oh, they tipped over as well. Oh well, it doesn't matter, we can strap them back on. So, there we go. Every now and then. Perfect. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a short and, well, uneventful episode, but that is all going to change very soon. So until next time, see you again. Bye for now.